Check it out, check it out, check it out. Another episode of the Punkdemic podcast coming straight through your ears to your noggin, baby. We got a whole bunch of cool stuff to talk about with a whole bunch of cool people. While I see Amazon shaking her head, no, because I used the word noggin. Today's word is noggin, and that's what we're gonna run with. Yes. And speaking of noggins, we got some great Punkdemic gear that'll fit right around yours over at punkdemic.net. We've got beanies and baseball caps. We've got tank tops and stuff like that for the summer. Amazon still hasn't let me include the thongs and G-strings, but ladies, I'm working on her. The Punkdemic ones are coming for those of you who like to spice things up in the heat. I'm trying, you guys. And for the fellas, I'm really trying. I'm looking out for you guys on this one, too. She's just not having it. But you can get a t-shirt in the meantime. That works. You know, it doesn't seem like it's the time of year to cop a hoodie, but you know what? It's a great time of year to cop a hoodie because you know what? The prices are a little lower for them because that's what the wholesaler makes available for us. So this is a good time to get a hoodie in anticipation of the fall and winter weather that'll be amongst us in the next 120 days or so. That's about 4 months for my non-mathematical people. So make sure you swing on over there to punkdemic.net and get some stuff. Punkdemic.net, punkdemic.net. Make sure you take some pictures of some stuff that you're in, tag us in it, and we'll be happy to repost those on our social media channels and all of that kind of stuff. I think I've plugged everything shamelessly as far as that goes.
Pretty damn shameless. That's pretty shameless.
I know. We thirsty over here. You know what I'm saying? We need that budget. Buy some stuff from us. Not now, but right now. Don't think about it. You study long, you study wrong. So just go ahead and just do some impulse buying. Spend some money with us. Support independent businesses.
Yeah.
Independent women-led businesses.
Fuck yeah.
What else can I say to anchor that in a little bit better? How else could I?
Juneteenth.
Oh, thank you.
Beyond happy Juneteenth, and Juneteenth, a very important day, but also an important day because at the time of this recording, it is also the birthday of our co-host, Amazon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My birthday. Right this second.
It
you
is.
See what I'm doing?
Doing what you love and being blessed with the gift of gab. That's what you're doing today. I love it. So I think the best gift that you can get for Amazon is just to get on over to Punkdemic and purchase some stuff at punkdemic.net. Punkdemic.net. I know that entrepreneurs love it when people purchase their products and services. Happy birthday, Amazon. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
You brought some cool people to the neighborhood today, and I'm going to allow you to make the introductions. Roll them.
Okay. Really? So I'm just getting to know Josh up there. So I was going to let Josh introduce himself, right? We're going to do that whole thing because you could probably do better than me. So tell us a little bit about you, sir.
Yo, Josh Golden here. Atlanta, Georgia in the house. I don't know if anyone is from Atlanta right now or watching, but live from Atlanta.
They're watching.
Live from Atlanta. Just happy to be here. Producer, artist, model, musician as well. Just happy to be here.
Thanks for joining us today. Appreciate having you.
Now, Mark always has stuff to say. It says right there, Marco. I call him Mark because I could do that, right?
It's all good.
Always has stuff to say. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do. When you do it.
All right. My government name is Marc.
Government, got it.
My government name is Marc. Don't tell nobody, even though everybody knows now. But my friends call me Marco. I am guitarist, lead vocalist for a band called Gagg Nancy. That's Gagg Nancy. And also I have a bunch of my own solo work that I do. And I'm just out here trying to create and be free with it, man. You know, as free as I can actually be without any of the constraints of what people think I should be doing.
Boom.
So one of the reasons I ended up talking to Marco, I said it, it's because of his vocals. Like, this guy has such a cool voice. I heard him on Itsy Bitsy Jared was running some tunes past me and wanted me to hear a few things and rah. And I was like, yeah, it sounds pretty good, but who is on the vocals? And he was like, that's just Marc. I was like, I need to meet just Marc. So I kind of tracked him down on social media, and here we are. And then I got introduced to Gagg Nancy after that. So, I appreciate you being here. Let's talk about where you're going to be playing, because I know you're touring, right? You're going to be leaving your current area to another area.
Yeah. Well, I'm playing in Salt Lake this weekend, and we're gonna head out to Phoenix, Arizona, and 2 shows out in California next month. So we do like little mini tours, like every 2 or 3 months. Stuff we can actually afford because we're self-funded. You know what I mean?
Right on. And then, do you have anybody that helps you with like the booking, or you're pretty much doing all that stuff yourself?
We do it ourselves. Me and my drummer are pretty much like the driving forces of the band. And we collaborate and just like, all right, well, do you want to play here? You want to play here? I'll call this place. I'll call that place. Let's set up maybe 2 or 3 shows linked up in a row, figure out what our B&B is going to be, figure out our travel, who we want to bring with us, and we just go out and do it, We used to try to deal with like a booker and a manager, and then I realized like they were just basically doing what we could have done, but worse and for more money, you know what I mean? So we took it upon ourselves, and it's been pretty successful so far.
Not better, but worse.
Yeah.
But then took some of your money at the end, right?
Yeah, exactly. They still want that money, and they still want the extra commission and everything. It's like, man, we got this.
So is Gagg Nancy fairly new? Is this a new band? Like, how long you guys been doing music together?
Gagg Nancy started about 2020, the back end of 2021. It was just an idea that I had one day, man. I was real depressed. I'd lost a bunch of friends, like people died, and I was just kind of like at the end of my rope. And I was at a bar just getting sloshed with a homie, man, and he was like, "Yo, I play drums," and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." I was like, "We should start a band," you know what I mean, type of thing. I was like, and then I never wound up starting a band with him. I wound up starting a band with a whole other person, but the whole point of the band was really in the beginning to kind of get out all the anger and the rage and all the angst that I had from those moments. And it was kind of like my last ditch, or else I don't really know what else was going to happen. So you could say it was supposed to be for, let's let everybody see us play music and we're all cute on stage and everything. But more poignantly and to the point, it was like therapy for me, man. Like I had to do it. So yeah, like it's been about 2-3 years of just kind of slow growth
during the pandemic, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So there we go. So it just all goes in together. Punkdemic I came up with during the pandemic, and at the time I was in a relationship with somebody who owned the venue, a fairly popular one here in LA. And what was happening was like the singer would want to come and play, but the guitarist would be afraid to show up, and so on and so forth. And so it was like, the domino effect where all the bands were canceling. This particular venue was in Orange County, and Orange County was still doing some things during the pandemic that they probably shouldn't have. And one of the things was like this venue was still going on. So anyway, a lot of bands were canceling. I had a lot of friends that ran into a lot of mental health issues during the pandemic from being locked in, and a lot of the outlets, obviously for the musicians, was to make music, but the people that go to shows as well, that was their outlet, to go to the shows, to get in the pit, to do what they do. And so I was sitting there and I was like, man, this is not a pandemic. This is a fucking punkdemic. Like, this sucks. Like, all my friends are depressed, and a few people, off themselves during that time. It was just dark. And the music is what I think got everybody through. And there were still people doing like backyard gigs here and there, stuff like that. So anyway, all that ties into what you were just saying, as far as like, it definitely helps. It definitely helps your spirit and your mental health to create. So Punkdemic will always support creators. of all kinds, musically, writing, art, whatever it is. But that came from the pandemic. That's where I got the name from. So.
That's dope.
That's dope. Yeah, love that.
I kind of thought that when I heard the name, and not even knowing the story, I was thinking, yeah, that seems like it came from. I mean, what better place, honestly, you know? Because it's almost like everybody shut down, and it was a complete and total reset of everything.
Yeah.
And some people haven't gone back to the way it was still, as far as socialization. So
anymore.
Right.
There's a lot of stimulating energy out there in LA. I've never been, but I'm more of like an East Coast type of dude. But for the most part, like LA has always been like a place where so much energy is collected. And so is New York too, because me and Mark, you know, we're from New York. So yeah, LA is somewhere I have to go. I have to go just to feel the vibrations and understand the culture and just understand how people, you know, come together, because there's a lot of unity there, a lot of violence and crazy shit too, but a lot of unity for the most part. So yeah,
I gotta second that. I've always been fan of LA myself too. It's always been a thing for me. Like as a kid, all my favorite groups, all the bands that I liked, everybody was coming from LA. You know what I mean? And there's there's that cohesive thing with the music, and it's almost like everything over there seems to always be like punching the boundaries down.
Yeah, absolutely.
True. That's true.
No, there's a Kendrick Lamar concert out here tonight in LA.
Yeah. At the Forum, right?
At the Kia Forum. Yeah. You know, speaking of people punching the boundaries, and you know, you guys feel that Mr. Lamar might have won that little spat between him and Dracard.
And Dragon.
He's Dragon. And
you already know.
I'm glad that he did.
Yeah, I'm glad he did. Yeah, because Kendrick is a real lyricist. Like him and Cole, like they actually paint the story. Like it's not a gimmick. It's not like acting. Like it's an actual story that you're listening to. And for the most part, I enjoy Kendrick's music. I used to enjoy Drake's music, but now I don't, because I don't fuck with him. But at the same time, I just feel really like happy where hip hop is right now. It's back to the competitive, you know, just we gonna throw bars at each other, and we're gonna make sure that people feel what we do, you know, and I love that. As far as Drake, I just personally think he's an actor, and I still think he's an actor. He's like a chameleon. He can just blend in with everything, and that's something that I immediately noticed about him. But I didn't discredit him for it. I just understood what he was trying to do. But now it's just kind of like, you're not a real MC. Kendrick's a real MC.
He ain't even close. And then when homie J. Cole came out with the Might Delete Later, I was with that battle. I wanted to see him and Kendrick go back and forth, because even though I was rooting for Kendrick the whole time, like everything Cole said, I was like, ooh.
Yeah. Spicy material. Very spicy.
Word, it was hella spicy. There was sauce all over it, man.
Yeah. So much that J. Cole had to be like, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm gonna delete my song. I can't deal with this. I'm a peacemaker. Like, nah, I can't do this.
That was the smartest thing he ever did. I mean,
that was the smartest thing he ever did.
Listen,
that saved his career.
Kept going. Man.
Yeah.
Good move.
Kendrick was not playing at all.
Nah.
And of course, West Coast. You know what I mean? It's like the anthem for LA, huh, Johnny? It's like the LA anthem right now.
At the moment, like it's on nonstop rotation out here at the moment.
They're not like.
I mean,
they're not like us, joint.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we have radio stations out here that stick to an old school format. You know, mainly 80s, 90s hip hop. You know, maybe up to like 2005 to 2010. We got several stations out here that run that format, and those radio stations are airing.
Not playing it.
Not.
They got to. They got to.
They're
It's
editing
like
out some of the curse words and they're just playing it.
Wow.
it's the instrumental for the traffic report.
Yeah. Dun, dun,
It's, I
dun,
mean,
dun.
it's just
Good
Or if
bananas.
morning,
you're
And
passing
LA.
vehicles, cars passing you on the street, that's what they're playing. Like it's nuts. Like it's still, and it's been out for a little bit now, and it's
Yeah.
still in strong rotation here in LA. So Josh, what else you said producing, you said arts, guitar.
Yeah.
Did you say guitar?
Yeah, I play guitar. I did play in a band. Um, I had to leave the band for other reasons, but I did do some vocals in a band called Versuno,
Okay.
Versuno.
Oh, I looked them
Um,
up.
okay, cool. Yeah, I did that. And then from my departure, just really been trying to understand um, being a producer versus being a beat maker. Like I wanted to make sure that I paint illustrations with my music. So now I would probably consider myself a composer, really, because I just really, really understand every single metric, every single level of sonics, just really understanding how each string, each kick drum, everything can translate into an emotion, and being in that position now has given me a lot of insight on who I am as an artist as well, because I'm also an artist as well. Um,
Nice.
but ultimately, what I'm doing right now musically is just a student, just really,
Okay.
really being a student of being, you know,
Studying your craft.
yeah, just being vulnerable, like sorry, understanding my mistakes and taking them as lessons instead of losses. Um, so I really, really understand like the battle can be won each day, but there's an ongoing war every single day until we die,
That's really good.
you
I
know?
really like that.
Yeah, so like just on a spiritual level too, like just knowing that our bodies and ourselves die every day, but each day we gain more. We gain more to pass and we gain more for ourselves. So I really, really love where I'm at in life right now as far as musically, because leaving the leaving the band was a really tough decision, but I felt like at this point I have to understand my individuality and understand who I am as an artist, and who I am as an artist may not be with the status quo, it may be a sore thumb, but at the same time, I'm happy where I'm at. Definitely happy where I'm at because I'm learning way more than I did before.
Can I interject?
So interject.
Sorry.
Love it. Go
Josh
ahead.
is one of the most humble people you'll ever meet. This guy inspires the living hell out of me. He won't sit here and say how badass he is, but when they came out with that Versuno album, I was telling him because I just saw him in Atlanta yesterday, and
Yeah.
yeah,
It
we
was
were
good to see my brother, man. It was good to see
yeah.
my brother. Oh
This
my
this is
God.
this is soul brother number one right here. Like I'll go to war with and for this guy for life, man. And I love him because he doesn't have any boundaries when it comes to music. He just creates. But as a singer and a composer and a lead man, like your front man, this guy inspires the living hell out of me. His voice, his delivery, the way he just comes on the stage. And I mean, look at him. He's a handsome son of a bitch. You know what I mean? He just kills the ladies. Starts singing. He's singing over the hardest tracks you ever heard. I'm talking about the hip hop track. I'm talking about a metal track. And homie is just destroying the whole front row of women. And people are just like, what is coming out of this man? So don't let him fool you. But what he's saying is spiritual. The way he comes at things, and he's helped me a lot when it's come to like being balanced with my spirit and where my mind and my heart is at. You know what I'm saying? As a person, as a performer, as a father, you know what I mean? Just a lot of different parts of life. So this kid really has it. And I implore anybody, honestly, to like go and listen. He left Versuno I wish he stayed, but I understand why he left. But go and listen to that, and you hear his imprint, and you can hear like the next 5 to 6 years of heavy music in that dude right there. That's all I got.
Flowers, dude. Flowers,
That is
dog. I
fucking
love it.
flowers,
No,
man.
listen
Good
here.
God.
Love it. Love
This
the
guy
love.
right here,
Fertilize
in my
me,
screen,
yes.
I see Johnny Taylor in the right bottom half here. Johnny, you're sitting there all humble, like being all quiet, sipping your. What are you sipping, man? Is that water?
Mushroom coffee.
Oh my God. Anyhow,
It's good for your.
had me on a.
It's good to kill the parasites if you have any.
You say I'm already on one. It put me like on 20. I couldn't do it. Johnny, tell them a little bit about what you do. Who's your last song with, Johnny, that just came out on June 5th? Go ahead, tell them.
It's not about me today. This is.
Come on.
Tell us.
Come on, JT.
We got a new cut with this dude named Lil Wayne that it just dropped. We're having a couple of technical difficulties at the world of Spotify at the moment, but it's available on all the other platforms. For some reason, Spotify is not playing nice with us right now. And
and the previous song before that, Johnny, who was on that one?
Might have heard of this guy named Snoop Dogg. He's heard. I mean, people know him in certain circles, and so we were able to secure a feature with Snoop.
And we can even go back one more. Let's go back one more. The song before that.
Exhibit.
Oh.
Right.
Woo!
Wait, we can go back again. Wait, before that.
Woo!
Sean Kingston.
Damn.
You're forgetting one. Who's scientist's favorite guy?
Oh, Rick Ross.
Rick
Ross. We've got a catalog. We've been blessed to been able to build a nice catalog over the last year and a half. No question.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
So he's sitting there all humble, like he doesn't know anything about anything. Like he's ridiculous. Like he knows music and he knows
the best
the business of music. So
yeah, it's always the dopest people that actually get that humility. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not about showing out. It's about like showing yourself and showing what you can actually do. You know what I mean?
It's not showing out. It's actually showing in.
Exactly.
You show.
I like that.
You show that, and what you project inside, it goes out.
Absolutely.
Goes out. Absolutely, yeah.
Well, my whole thing was like while you were speaking, Josh, I just had like a bunch of producer questions that just came to mind, like in your experience, because music has changed so much across, I think, all genres, especially the way the creation of it is now. How do you feel about the use of artificial intelligence in the production?
I hate it.
Yep.
I hate it. Prince, rest in peace, Prince, the GOAT. He made a good comment on an interview. He was like, I don't sample. I do real music, and I love samples. Don't get me wrong. My favorite artist of all time is Kanye West.
King of samples.
Yeah, he's a king of samples, right? So you can probably see from my background here, I got like some Kanye shit, and I got a whole bunch of vinyls and shit. But for the most part, the AI culture right now, I feel like it's mostly for entertainment. It's not necessarily built on like a career. I just feel like it's mostly just to tickle people's ears or whatever. But for the most part, I love being able to hear something that's before my time and recreating that whole thing, because nothing's new under the sun. Yeah. So you can hear something today, like a kid can hear something today and be like, that's dope, but I can jump back to like 2002 and recreate that whole vibe. Like I know out there in the West Coast, like the whole jerk vibe and like I got my Vans on, but they look like sneakers, like all that. Like you can really modernize that to today, and it still will hit. So it's all about texture and just personality with music making. Like there's so many people out there, man, that can really make great beats and great.
Oh, we lost him.
It's okay. He'll come back.
Yeah, he'll come back in. He'll come back in.
That was a great talking point.
It really was, man. I was sitting there thinking, like, this is gonna be the clip.
Yeah.
This is gonna be our hook that we're gonna play out for people to get people to listen in. And
so, Mark, yes. I wanted to ask you how did you end up doing the Itsy Bitsy project?
The what?
The Itsy Bitsy project. How'd you end up?
That was a wild thing, man. I don't even remember. It's strange. I don't even remember how I met Jared. He's one of those people that I feel like I've always known my whole life. You know what I mean? But there had to be some place where we met. I can't even remember it. I just remember being in his studio one day, and he was playing something off that first Itsy, man. I think it was Fuzzy. And I was like, man, like, what is this? You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? Because of the way they put it together. Because, you know, Jared's a producer as well as, you know, like a punk rock kid, as a metal kid, you know, kind of like the rest of us, you know. And he was like sampling pieces, and I just didn't understand what he was doing in the studio. And then when I heard it, we're just like, yo, bro. I was like, do you mind if I just like throw something on this? And I just wrote something in like a couple minutes just to see what it was going to sound like. I wanted to try screaming on a track. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try screaming on this track a little bit, get it a little bit in a higher register. And next thing I know, we were working on a project. I was back there like every couple weeks, just writing stuff down and letting him chop it up.
Guys. I'm sorry to cut you off, bro. My bad, bro. Like, my phone, it just ran out of space really quickly, and it just shut everything down. So I'm sorry, guys. Sorry for the interruption.
No, you're good.
You're good. You're good.
Okay, Michael, go ahead.
Yeah. So, and then it just kind of became a project. So a couple years later, we just happened to be, you know, hanging out, talking about stuff. He's like, hey, I got like 7 or 8 songs. You want to just write some stuff and see what happens? Cool. Bang, bang, bang. And then kind of the same thing with the third one. I think like the main characteristic of the whole project is like, it was never, at least on my end, it was never like this intentional thing. Like, we're going to do these awesome songs. It was just like, let me write some stuff down. Let me spit this on the track, and then I'll let you do whatever you do with it later. 2-3 years later, I get, you know, here, check this out. This is what you did. Oh, wow. That sounds great, man. You know what I mean? So the project has kind of gone like that for us for like the last, hell, I'd say like 10 years now.
The way he puts that stuff together is such a trick, because I heard a few things and I was like, wait, it took my brain a minute. It was like, okay, this got it. And then as I kept hearing some of the different tracks, I was like, okay, I get it now, you know. And then I just started to really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And again, it took me, like I said, we did the first one probably a dime ago, like 10 years ago. And it took me till now to understand the concept of what he actually did. You know, I was like, oh, this makes sense to me now. It's like, oh, you were just making a song. It's just the way you did it was completely roundabout, backwards, and, you know, through the side door, but it absolutely works. You know what I mean? I think Jared, he's a badass.
He is. So both of you are from New York. I just got home from New York. I went to Punk Island.
Oh, nice.
I brought Punkdemic to Punk Island. And it was really neat. I was recognized by a bunch of people. Was bizarre for me because despite my bubbly nature, I'm a total introvert, right? And so it was really neat to walk up and meet people in real time that I've been dealing with, you know, online. And what you were saying about the West Coast as far as unity is true, but what I found was as far as the Black rockers, man, they're tight in New York on the East Coast. Like, I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah,
like once I started to hear all about it, I hit him up. I was talking to it was Nate from Winterwolf, and I was like, I don't know what the hell it is. I don't know what Punk Island is. I go, but Punkdemic wants to be there. Like, Amazon's coming out there, and I pretty much got myself there, just through communicating with different people. But I mean, so united over there as far as the metal and the punk. Just a cool vibe all the way around. I just had so much fun. The visit was not long enough, honestly, for me to get the whole New York thing.
Right.
But as far as the scene with the punks and the metal and hardcore kids, black kids or kids of color, I've never seen anything like it. Like the West Coast, hate to say it, I haven't seen anything like that here to that level.
Well,
that I saw over there.
Yeah, my favorite band right now that's killing this shit in the whole like black metal punk shit is a band called Zulu.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, Zulu is gnarly, man. That's
Zulu
good.
is
I know who Zulu is.
insane. I love the fuck out of them.
Yeah,
well, Ma'afa
so
was
fucking
there,
good.
so I got to meet Floor from Ma'afa. Rebelmatic didn't perform, but I just didn't. Did you see what I did for Rebelmatic? We did a whole podcast with Preach from Rebelmatic.
Oh yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, it was really good. But he popped up there at Punk Island. Militia Vox. It was just badass. And then Winterwolf. Have you guys checked out Winterwolf?
Absolutely.
I love them. Oh,
You said Winterwolf?
Winterwolf NYC, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
love
cool,
them.
yeah.
Love them.
Fuck yeah.
You know,
go ahead.
The thing with the East Coast, though, especially when it comes to hardcore and metal, is like our attitude from it. Because I mean, the first person I actually even heard metal from was a black kid. You know what I mean? A kid named Arthur. He gave me an Iron Maiden tape. You know, when I was like 13 or something. Oh, this is crazy. You know what I mean? But when we were
got your Eddie.
when we were growing up, all the clubs you would go to, like, you'd see the Beastie Boys, you'd see Danzig, and you'd see like DMX all on the same bill. Like, and all of those kids were all in the same spots. You know what I mean? So that crossover, you know, you're going to a Gigi Allen show right next to like Run DMC. You know what I mean? Like all that.
I've never seen that.
Right there. So the mosh pits just had everybody in them. You know, if you went to a Canderia show, you'd find thugs there, you'd find hardcore kids, you'd find punk kids, you'd find everything. And the majority of them weren't white. You know, they were kids of color. They might have been black, Asian, whatever it was. So that stew's been brewing for like a good
very long time
out here.
I
Yeah.
freaking love it. I did Nate too. Nate from Winterwolf was on, and he also plays the drums for Ma'afa.
Oh, really?
He plays, yeah.
Oh,
and I got to meet, man, I met Flora. She's going to come on and talk to me. But anyway, the fucking energy was off the hinges. And when he was on, because he's younger, I told him the story about, my experience going to shows is probably different than his because there was very, very few black kids when I was going to shows. At these fucking shows, like very few, and there was definitely none that looked like me. Like I used to shave my head. I'm 5'11", you know what I mean? Like I stood out like a sore thumb. It was like a total different experience. So when I went and finally saw somebody like Fishbone, I was fucking blown away. I was floored.
Hell yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh. Not only that, but then they brought in people like me that look like me. He's blessed to be having that experience over in New York where you see that, and in LA, I didn't see a lot of that for a while, right?
Yeah.
So I had to kind of stitch it out and make my own space. And that's where the name Amazon came from. It's because they were like, you fucking big old tall Amazon, blah, blah, blah. And I used to be like all butthurt and sad. I was young, like 12, 13. And then I started doing my homework on the Amazonians and the history. And then I just started embracing it, right? And then, there's comic books and such. Yeah, that's a whole nother rabbit hole. But anyway, all that to say, I didn't have that. I usually was the one of one. Maybe there was two of us at a show, maybe coming up. A lot of white punk bands, a lot of white metal bands. Like, so for me, I was like, I don't know what I got to do. I'm going to get on this fucking plane and I'm going to get over to New York. And Johnny and myself just put it together, and I got out there and got the merch out there, but mostly just met all these people, a lot of young people. It was just so neat to see it, and they were so happy to have me there, and it was just really, really neat. So I definitely plan to go back to the East Coast and hang out and enjoy some of that. It's really neat. You guys are fortunate to have that.
Yeah, we still, we would still get, made fun of or whatever for a little while. You know, people be like, "Oh, you like that white people music? This is that," and I'm like, "Well, I don't know, man. I'm a historian. If I'm nothing else, and I know where this music comes from. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I know exactly where music comes from. So to me, I've never like been in it feeling like ashamed. There's no apologies. There's no nothing. We're gonna scream on the track. We're gonna do whatever the hell we want, and still, you know what I'm saying, be on this whatever they want to prescribe as this black shit, because we gotta live it every day anyway. I can't change the color of my skin. I still got, you know what I mean? I still got to be who I am, but I'm also gonna express myself with whatever this music is, whether it's rage, tranquility, you know, finding your spirit, whatever, you know. And that this punk rock and hardcore has the same message to me that hip hop, when it's real, has. It's about that elevation and, like, you know, self-preservation and making yourself better and trying to do things for the people around you. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, just constant elevation. How did RZA say it? Positive energy activates constant elevation. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of mind, and putting that together, you know, with being the actual outcast out here. Now, I'm not alternative because I want to be. You know what I mean? I'm alternative because that's what I'm born into. You know what I mean? So it's, yeah, for real.
You were gonna keep going.
Oh, I was just saying, man. Like it's not like it was so concentrated and like this huge like black punk or rock movement. Even though it was happening, it was little pockets. But like what I found was like when Afro punk came along, and you know, guys like Jared and the Simmonses and all these guys and ladies just bringing all these different, you know, kids together and realizing that we're all kind of on the same page. I mean, we all didn't care, but we cared enough to make something that we felt in our hearts, you know. And I think that's what you saw at Punk Island, is like the baby of those mindsets.
Yes.
That's
how
really
I felt.
Like, nobody's ashamed no more. They're just out there rocking, good time, and realizing this is their music as well as it's anybody else's.
It was just great to see. It was great to see all the young people out there doing what I fucking got my ass beat for them to go out there and do. Not to sound like some civil rights person, but like, for reals, you know what I mean? Talk about being targeted. I couldn't hide.
I mean, you got a right to be civil.
Right. There was nowhere for me to hide, you know, who I was, because I stood out. So it was so cool just to see that. Anyway, all that to say, I had a good time. I had a good time in New York. I'm looking forward to going back there. Just like you're excited about LA, I'm excited to go back to the East.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm glad you got there. I'm glad you got the video and everything, because I was inspired just looking at it. I was like, yes, this is so good, man. I'm so happy it's happening, you know?
And the women rockers were killing it.
Destroying.
Yeah. So good. There's one, what are they called? Lake Lanier.
Mm-hmm.
That band like blew me away. I'm gonna have her I say her because the lead singer, but I'm gonna have them on. There's just a lot of good music coming out of there, so I was super stoked about that.
That's interesting. Here in Georgia, we have an actual place called Lake Lanier.
Yes, that's where they got the name from.
Yeah.
I know all about Lake Lanier. That's what she came out on stage. She came out with some shorts, kind of like Daisy Dukes, with some cowboy boots on and a freaking cowboy hat, and then belted out the craziest sounds you've ever heard. Like, that chick was bad, and she was super country. I loved it. Loved it. So yeah, it just made me really proud. I was super proud of the young people. You know, I just turned 27 again today. But they were young, and it was great to see. Mark, we're gonna cut it down. We're gonna dip out like at 8 my time. Only because we got started a little late, and because it's late for you guys, and I know you have stuff to do. But tell us more about where you're gonna play next. Any new projects, whatever you got going on with your bands, plural. I know you probably have a couple of projects.
Well, I mean, I kind of put all my solo stuff aside to put all my eggs in this Gagg Nancy basket, because I feel like it is the project that I feel is worth, you know, all of my time and my energy. I still do production. I still make beats and do all the stuff on the side. I got some acoustic projects and stuff that I got going on. But mainly it's just Gagg Nancy. The biggest thing we have popping up right now is, we got a show next week, or actually this week. Hell, it's Wednesday. Yeah, we're playing out at the Pearl on Main in Midvale, Utah, with a couple other bands, and then we're gonna hit that Cali tour. But in the interim between those two things, we're gonna release a song called Spotlight, and it's a track we've been working on for a minute and playing live for a little while, and realizing that people really dig it. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at right now. Just a couple shows, single, and let the summer rock out.
Right on. And then Josh, what are you working on as far as production? What do you got?
I did a feature for my uncle in Paris. He's a producer as well, bass player as well, and I did a feature for him. Not sure if I made the cut or not, but I'm definitely excited for what's to come. Right now, ultimately for me, it's just, like I said earlier, just being a student of understanding music. I'm taking a real setback on a lot of activity and just understanding music, just being a student, but also being a teacher to myself, if that makes any sense. Like just kind of like,
absolutely,
just trying to like, understand what life is, how I am in life, and where I want to go in life, and making sure that everything that I put out is authentic as fuck, and just being myself, like not having any restraints, but just really organically just being who I want to be. So yeah, I mean, I'm blessed. Like I said earlier, I was with Marc yesterday, literally. So
I just saw a picture. I think I just saw a picture online.
Yeah. It was
That's a good picture.
Yeah, wonderful experience with my brother, and just understanding him as an artist and him as a man just helps me be a better artist and man at the same time, because I look up to the dude a lot. So I just want to make sure that right now in this current moment in time, I am the best that I want to be, and continue to, translate that every day. So yeah.
Word.
Awesome. JT, I'm gonna let you go ahead and do our little wrap up routine.
How do you follow up that? Like, geez. Josh made my job hard.
Right? Josh is
That's love, my brother. That's
love. I'm a Josh fan.
No,
I just became a Josh fan.
You see what I'm saying?
You guys make sure you go on the YouTube and the Spotify and the Apple. It's gonna be on all those platforms. Share it. Get this podcast out there. We just did. I had Dirty Walt and Flying J. Dirty Walt, Fishbone. They're in a band.
Woo!
They are in a band called Johnny. Here we go again.
I got COVID brain. I don't be remembering stuff the same way I used to.
No, we both.
You're asking me the wrong. It's on the tip of my tongue, but like nowhere near sight.
Year of the Dragon. We both had. Because I'm in healthcare, I've had COVID way too many times during the whole.
I've had it 4 times.
Oh, and it does affect your memory, and it started to affect mine. Really, crazy. Like I just draw a blank mid-sentence. Year of the Dragon. Yeah. So it's but Dirty Walt from Fishbone, Flying J, who also still tours with Fishbone, and I have them on, and those clips are up. So this will be on YouTube. It'll be on Spotify. It'll be on Apple, and then what is it? Amazon. It's on Amazon too. Amazon Music.
Yeah, it is on Amazon. Of course, so it's got to be on Amazon. Amazon, we got to make sure it's there. No question about that.
No kidding. Yeah. So that's why my name on Instagram is She Is, because I didn't want any kind of like, pushback from that.
Catching customer service questions in your DM. Yeah,
I kept thinking, she is amazing. Every time I looked at it,
I'll keep finding artists that people are interested in dealing with, and I want to do something on photography. I did an interview with somebody who's in fashion, art. I'm a art buff. So, I just want to expand it and just have it be a nice community. I'm not intentionally only focused on people of color. However, that's kind of my thing, right?
If it happens, it happens. So if it just sort of happens that way, then hey.
It's not my fault. We're all so fucking fabulous. Is that my fault? No, it's not. So, it just seems to be working out that way. But I'll have Johnny do the wrap-up speech. And then, of course, as you guys progress and get involved in more projects, keep up with me. Let me know what you're working on. I kind of chat with Marc on a regular now. We're almost like BFFs on Instagram.
We're buddies.
It's pretty cool. He's my best friend now. Johnny, you've been replaced. Until you finish school, because you don't have time for me right now. Until you finish school next year.
Yeah, I know.
He doesn't have time for me right now. He's studying, so.
My play time is very limited, unfortunately. No play for Mr.
Mean.
Gray.
He's
play
mean to me now. But do our wrap up, and we'll call it. Is that music back? It's back. I hear it.
Did you hear it just fading in?
It's in there. That's the cue. The really bad music means it's time to go.
Daydreaming, the brand new single from StreamYard. Banging sounds to accompany your podcast.
It's not banging anything at all. Anyway.
Nice slow fade in with it. I'm doing my job over here. Anyway, we appreciate you guys tuning into this episode. Marc, thanks for joining us. And also, Josh, we appreciate your insights. They were absolutely incredible, man. We're going to definitely create a couple of clips off of this episode to promote it for sure. Make sure that we have you guys tagged in on it so, everyone can connect with you guys on your various socials as well. So, for the Amazon, for Marc, my man Jay Gold, aka Josh, formerly from the band Versuno. See, you think I catch all of that, but I got you. I do my homework, not only for school but for the show too.
Good shit, man. Hell yeah.
We're signing off. We're getting out of here like last year. Yeah.
We really. So the thing that we're working on, like, what our little. We're cutting out catchphrases is gonna be. Everybody has like this thing they say. Well, we haven't gotten there yet.
I have a good one.
Him saying something ridiculous and me just shaking my head at him. That's how it's been. Go ahead, Josh. What you got?
I'm insulted. Go ahead, Josh.
We all love the show Martin, right?
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
We do.
So what he says? He's like, you don't gotta. He said something about like, oh, you don't have to go home, but you gotta get the hell out of here.
Get the hell out of here.
That is one of my favorite lines. True, I do use that quite often. We could use a variation of that. We could work on it.
Get the stepping.
Get to stepping.
Get to stepping.
Get to stepping. We could get to stepping. Maybe that could be a whole thing.
Yeah,
anyway,
dude. The whole show is great until we get to like the last couple of minutes, and it's just cringe.
It's
like,
what
how do we sign off of here, pal?
And then, so bad.
And then when Josh says something so impactful and powerful, it's like, it seems all formulaic to be like, well, make sure you go sign on to punkdemic.net again and go buy some stuff. It's just like, it just kind of just ruins it. But anyway, if you're still listening, we've been meaning to log off and sign off for a minute. This has been the longest sign off in the history of the show. It's like 10 minutes in to say goodbye. So until next time, you guys, so long, and we'll catch up with you guys soon. Love, peace, and hair grease. Yeah.
Oh no, you didn't.
I did.
That's not gonna stay.
I took it back to 1989 with that.
We're not doing that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.